three-point lead. Doncic on the step back. Over Durant. Hits a three.
They come. Luka in the middle.
Back to LeBron. Luka into the front court. Pulls up. Three-pointer. Top of the key. Banked it in. Luka still driving. Spins. Turns. Lays it up and in.
When a player already averages 28.2 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 7.7 assists but decides that's not enough, the entire NBA should be on alert. Because things are about to get even more dangerous.
LeBron to Luka. Luka driving down the middle, got to the rim, lay it up and in. 31 for Luka.
Luka Doncic has done something that changes everything. And no, it's not about his iconic step-back three, his incredible court vision, or even those impossible shots he somehow makes look routine. For years, critics had one consistent knock on Luka: his conditioning and body. That was the one thing they could always point to. But this offseason, Luka took every single one of those comments personally. Now he's leaner. He's faster. He's stronger. And maybe most importantly, he's angry. When a generational talent like Luka decides to get revenge, the entire league better be ready for what's coming. That's why February 2025 shocked the basketball world. Just days before the trade deadline, the Dallas Mavericks did the unthinkable. They traded away Luka Doncic. A player like that gone? Immediately, the NBA community was stunned and asking the same question. Why? This was a superstar who earned 5 All-NBA first-team selections in just 6 seasons, carried a flawed roster to the Western Conference Finals in 2022, and then led a completely different cast to the NBA Finals 2 years later. Dallas had built their entire system around him, until, suddenly, they didn't. Months into the season, Dallas moved on, and the reason was Luka's physical condition, among other factors. As wild as it sounded at first, there was truth behind the concern. Luka's fitness had quietly been a subplot since early in his career. Back in 2020, he openly admitted he wasn't in shape. A year later, national broadcasts were pointing out his weight mid-game, and Luka himself admitted, "I've got to do better." By 2023, the Mavericks front office reportedly urged him to slim down to reduce his playing weight. But the issue wasn't just physical, it was mental, too. Insiders claimed Luka's weight could fluctuate drastically, at times ballooning into the high 260s, nearly 40 pounds above his listed playing weight. Yet, his numbers remained elite.
Doncic creating some space. Mavericks scoring at will in the paint.
The signs of wear and tear were becoming impossible to ignore. During the 2023-24 finals run, Luka was taking pain injections before games, limping through every series, and leaving the court covered in ice or heat packs on nearly every joint. Then came Christmas Day 2024, when Luka suffered a left calf strain, the longest injury absence of his career, missing 19 games over 5 weeks. That may have been the tipping point because just weeks later, the Mavericks made the shocking decision to trade him to the Lakers in a blockbuster deal. Soon after, rumors began swirling. The front office wasn't just concerned about his durability. They were reportedly fed up with his off-court habits, the beer, the hookah, and his diet. Just like that, a franchise icon was gone.
The first quarter. The spin, the layup, banks it in. 10 straight.
Not because Luka Doncic couldn't play. His production was still elite. But because Dallas wasn't sure how long he could keep performing at that level. And when he arrived in Los Angeles, the doubts didn't completely go away. Luka hadn't played in over a month when the trade went down, and it was clear something was off. He looked heavier, slower, and carried not just extra weight, but the stress of being uprooted mid-season. After spending his entire NBA life in Dallas, he suddenly had to move his young family to a new city, adapt to a new system, and integrate into a brand new locker room. It wasn't just basketball, it was a personal upheaval. Still, despite all that chaos, Luka delivered in his debut with the Lakers. He averaged 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game. On paper, it looked like business as usual. But beneath the surface, something wasn't clicking. The team's chemistry felt off, the energy was inconsistent, and Luka's presence, while statistically strong, didn't translate into wins when it mattered most. The Lakers' season ended in shocking fashion, a 5-game, first-round exit at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. A younger, faster, more athletic team ran them off the court. And for the first time, Luka couldn't close the gap with brilliance alone. His lack of mobility on defense and visible fatigue late in games stood out under the unforgiving playoff spotlight. Luka has always been an elite athlete in terms of skill and feel for the game, but he never had the physique of a Greek god. That never stopped him from dominating before, but this time, it mattered. For years, people criticized his conditioning, but no one could question his results. That changed in 2024. The calf strain in December forced him to miss 19 games, the longest absence of his career. Then came the trade, then the Lakers' playoff collapse. It was a brutal sequence that stripped away the benefit of the doubt. For the first time, it looked like Luka's body was betraying his talent. The criticism was loud, widespread, and in many ways deserved. He was called out for being out of shape, for playing lackluster defense, and for failing to hold himself to the physical standard expected of a franchise cornerstone. And Luka heard every bit of it. Instead of retreating, sulking, or blaming others, he responded the only way that truly matters, by working. According to his manager, Laura Beth Siga, just one day after the Lakers' first-round elimination, Luka made his priorities clear. He didn't want a break. He didn't want a vacation. He didn't even want to escape from the noise. All he wanted to do was train. With everything weighing on him, Luka decided to make this off-season a turning point. The early playoff exit gave him something rare: time. For the first time in years, Luka had 4 full months to reset, recover, and rebuild his body. Instead of coasting through the summer as he had in the past, he locked in, and this time, he didn't do it alone. He assembled what he now calls Team Luka, a small, specialized group of wellness experts focused entirely on his physical transformation. From strength and conditioning to nutrition and recovery, every element of his routine was under the microscope. The goal was simple: build a body capable of sustaining his talent over the long haul. The early signs were impossible to ignore. Social media lit up with off-season photos showing Luka noticeably slimmer, and fans quickly took notice. Then came the big surprise. Luka appeared on the cover of Men's Health. Not just in shape, but in the best shape of his life. And this wasn't just clever camera work or good lighting. According to his team, Luka completely overhauled his diet, cut out bad habits, and shifted his training to prioritize endurance, mobility, and lean muscle. This was real work, quiet, consistent, and purposeful. It started with one bold move. Luka didn't even touch a basketball for the first month of his transformation. That was a deliberate decision by his trainers, who wanted him to fully recover from years of non-stop mileage before rebuilding his body from the ground up. Instead of basketball, Luka channeled his competitive energy into other sports, like paddle and pickleball, activities that target entirely different muscle groups while still giving him that mental edge of competition. It served as both a physical reset and a mental one. Once that foundation was set, the real grind began. His workouts were intense, built around non-stop circuits. Each one paired on-court challenges, like resistance band layups, with a mix of upper and lower body exercises. 1 minute he'd be hammering out hip stretches, the next he'd be powering through renegade rows. It was high intensity, with barely any rest, all designed to rebuild his stamina and explosive strength. But Team Luka didn't stop at strength and endurance. They also focused on the mechanics that make Doncic so dangerous: his ability to decelerate. Luka doesn't beat defenders with pure speed, he beats them with timing. His unique ability to stop on a dime while his defender slides past creates the space he needs for his signature step-back jumper. Those stop-start movements require eccentric strength, muscles that can contract explosively while controlling the landing. To sharpen that, Luka has been doing resistance band drills that throw his balance off, forcing his ankles, calves, and quads to stabilize and absorb impact. The goal? Strength in motion. Landing safely, cutting sharply, and staying healthy through the grind of a full NBA season. This offseason wasn't just about getting in shape. It was about redefining what kind of player Luka Doncic can be going forward. For the first time in his career, Luka isn't relying solely on talent. He's building the body to match it. And if early results are any indication, the rest of the NBA should be very, very concerned. Then come the conditioning drills. Luka Doncic hits the track for hurdle sprints, flying over them and sprinting through tight intervals designed to push his explosiveness and endurance. After that, it's back to the top of the key, catch, dribble, fake, pull-up, jumper after jumper, testing out this new, leaner version of himself in real time. Each day starts with a 90-minute morning session alongside trainer Angie Mishek, blending weightlifting, agility work, and shooting drills. And that's only the first of 2 workouts. The second session always ends the same way, Luka alone, taking jumpers in an empty gym. This time, though, it's not just about refining his shot, it's about rebuilding the machine behind it, athleticism, recovery, and conditioning. Luka isn't just sharpening his game, he's reinventing his body to support it. The transformation isn't just about workouts. His diet has become just as crucial. Since June, Luka has committed to a strict intermittent fasting plan, 16 hours with 0 calories from 8 p.m. to noon the next day. He doesn't eat until after his grueling 90-minute morning session, and when he does, it's all about fuel, specifically protein. Luka now consumes 250 grams of protein per day, more than a gram per pound of body weight. That's the equivalent of 5 extra-large chicken breasts, plus eggs and low-carb, no-sugar protein shakes. He's also gone gluten-free and cut out refined sugars, sticking to clean meals and 1 almond milk-based protein shake daily. Combined with 2-a-day workouts in Croatia, this approach has helped Luka cut down, lean out, and get into the best shape of his career. His body can finally keep up with his game, and that's terrifying for the rest of the NBA. A big part of this has been motivation. Luka Doncic, the generational superstar traded away by Dallas Mavericks GM Nico Harrison partly due to concerns about conditioning, clearly took that move personally. The off-season work isn't just about losing weight, it's about proving something. According to those close to him, Luka had already planned on focusing on his body this summer. But to the outside world, it looks like a direct response to the humiliation of being cast out of the city he thought he'd spend his entire career in. After the season ended, all Luka wanted to do was train, and now the results are showing. He's leaner, has improved vertical explosiveness, and is clearly locked in. This feels less like a simple routine change and more like a personal mission. Sure, the Mavericks landed Phenom Cooper Flag in the process, but the man who carried Dallas to the 2024 NBA Finals is now wearing purple and gold, and looking like a new player. That trade might not just haunt Dallas, it might haunt the entire league. Luka was already nearly unstoppable. Now, he might be inevitable. Even before the transformation, Luka Doncic was one of the NBA's best players. But now, with improved conditioning and a new physique, he could reach an even scarier level. If he's regained some of the athleticism he had as a rookie while keeping his trademark pace and control, an MVP season could be on the horizon. Last season, he averaged 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists per game, while not even close to peak physical condition. This version of Luka, possibly operating at 90 to 100% of his potential, is something the league isn't ready for. Even with what some call the dad bod, Luka was a top 5 player. Now, after this offseason of intense training, he's leaner, more explosive, and still possesses the same lethal offensive arsenal. Head fakes, pinpoint passes, post-ups, euro steps, deep threes, and elite body control at the rim. With improved leaping ability and stamina, Luka's defense is also expected to take a step forward. And this isn't just speculation. People are already buying in. Sportsbooks have bumped him up to 3rd in the 2026 MVP odds, trailing only Nikola Jokic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. If he stays healthy, that gap could close sooner than anyone expects. Whatever you thought of Luka before, this new version looks like his final form. The NBA thought it had him figured out, they were wrong. What's coming next could be a problem for everyone else. Luka's full off-season reset has given him his best chance yet to show up in peak condition. If he maintains this new approach, we might finally see the version of Doncic that's been held back by fatigue and extra weight in previous years. That's great news for Lakers fans and a serious problem for the rest of the league. Remember, last season, a dad bod, Luka and a 40-year-old LeBron James still led the Lakers to the 3rd seed in the West. That alone says plenty. Now imagine what they can accomplish with a sharper Luka and a deeper, more balanced roster around him. This time, Luka is coming in lighter, more focused, and ready to go the distance with improved conditioning. His defense and stamina should naturally improve, allowing him to impact both ends of the floor for longer stretches. Whether it's maturity, motivation, or perfect timing, the Lakers are getting Luka Doncic at a moment when everything is aligning. Eurobasket will provide an early preview, and if that level of play carries into October, the rest of the league could be in trouble. So, what do you think? Will Luka take over the league this season, or will the hype fall flat? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is only the beginning.